I'm Shiree Turner. I'm a kindergarten teacher, and we do need an accountability piece. However, the assessment that we use has to reflect what we're teaching in the classroom and what the students are teaching in the classroom. If that does not happen, what I call the academic esteem of our students will not be where we want it to be. Students will not feel successful, and teachers will not feel successful. And with that, our students will not get what they need, and they will not be successful in the classroom. They will not be successful in our society because they're not receiving the education that they truly deserve and they truly need. With the population that I teach, things happen every day. Students go through things every single day. And so if they are going through a tough time on a day where they're taking a test, that's not going to truly reflect the student that they are. Students are more than a test score, and we have to find ways to assess that, and a test score is not the answer. If you're just leaving the success up to a test, you're really counting out our students. Our students are smart in so many different ways, and you can't use just one test score to determine the intellect of a child. You have children, some of them don't get breakfast every morning. Some of them go through things in the home. And some students just aren't great test takers, but that does not mean that they're not smart and they're not capable of reaching the standards that we have set for our kids. And they reach the expectations, but it's in different ways. It might be through art, it might be through music, they might be great readers, but that won't be reflected in a test score. So we have to find different ways to really make sure that we're assessing our kids in a way that we assess the whole child. I say that we can assess the whole child, and a test score does not do that. And when you have that test score, it tracks them. So because of this test score, they can be in remedial classes when they really don't need to. And in some cases, they might even be referred to special ed when they really don't need to, just based on one test score. And that's detrimental, especially to students of color and students in low-income situations, where if they are bright students in other ways and it's not reflected on their tests, what's going to happen to them? If they're put in special ed, if they're put in remedial classes, that's going to set the tone for the rest of their academic career. If we have a test that does not accurately assess what we're teaching in the classroom, that means we can't teach the curriculum that the Seattle Public School District wants us to teach. I end up spending most of my time on just learning how to take a test. They have the skills, but the skills in our curriculum, for instance, in everyday math, is spirals. And a lot of things on the math test you have to master. So I have to forfeit everyday math just so I can make sure my students are mastering certain concepts that are on the map for them to be successful. I want to be held accountable as a good teacher. I think it's important, but it's how am I held accountable? And if you're going to leave it to a test score, that's not a way to assess a good teacher and hold a good teacher accountable. You can't figure out if a teacher is a good teacher by a test score because so many factors go into those test scores.